Welcome to another episode of the Dating Masterminds. My name is Daniel Mercy and I am here today with Dan, as known as Bad Boy. We are here to deliver to you the best knowledge of the dating world in this 2023, 2024 type of world that went a little bit crazy on the dating niche, but we are doing it in the past, me for a decade, Bad Boy for almost 3 decades. So we have a lot of stuff to bring to you, and specifically today, in this episode today, we would like to talk to you about the different types of women, all right? Because let's be honest about it, there is no just one type of woman. There is no just one thing that all women want and look for. There are different types of women. Other people call it blueprints of different women. However, we are going to separate it so easily, so simply, that you will be able not just to recognize them and understand them, but to know exactly how to meet, seduce, get to know actually each type and understand very deeply how to make it in the simplest way possible. You wouldn't need to rethink about stuff that you are doing when you are talking to these girls. Just the moment that you know exactly what girl is in front of you, you would know exactly what you need to do. Before we even go into what are these women, what's going on, how do we talk to them, and all of this other stuff, let's first name them, all right? Most people would go with separating women to a lot of different categories. There would be the gold diggers, and there would be the party poopers, and there would be the wifey material, and they would divide it to a lot of different categories, which is not true, all right? It is right that there are different categories of women. There are biker girls, there are party girls. It's different typecast, and it is a typecast once you approach these specific women, and you use the same tools for any other women in this type, it would just work. That's why there are people, by the way, that have natural success, because in their niche, let's say the techno guys, for example, in this niche of techno, they understand the specific niche of women in the techno, they understand this typecast, and it's easy for them to meet these girls. However, instead of just going deep into millions of categories, we would like to help you understand it better, and that's why we are dividing the categories of women into 2 different categories: physical women and emotional women. All right? And in a moment, we'll tell you exactly what it means, physical versus emotional. But what you should know is that all other categories of women would fall under physical or emotional. And the moment that you understand if the woman is physical or emotional, you have done 80% of the job of understanding who the woman is. You would be able to calibrate to her type. You would be able to communicate with her on the best way possible. You would be able to attract specifically her. She wouldn't feel like it's a general game that you are doing here, but it's something that's specific to her, and you will be able to get your results skyrocketing up. So then, can you maybe tell me, how do you actually, what's the difference between physical women and emotional women?
Yeah, thanks for the intro. I would say this is a concept I developed I would say 10, 15 years ago when I was approaching, doing lots of going out there to bars, clubs. And I realized, within all experiences, there is a big difference between some of the girls, As you mentioned, that's kind of what I separate them into 2 basic categories, emotional and physical women. So I noticed, some women, they are, basically what makes them happy, okay? And I would say it's very simple. It is what makes them happy. Physical ones, they are driven to external happiness. They need things like alcohol, loud music, adrenaline, sex, physical stuff, going to the gym. They love to do things with the body. They they need, money, fast cars. They're driven, the body is satisfying them. Versus, emotional ones, basically, so if physical ones are searching for external happiness, emotional ones are searching for internal happiness. She's happy when she's at home reading a book. she goes to yoga seminar, she's hanging out with her friends, she's listening music, she's developing herself, she's meditating. So it's more internal stuff, with the emotions within her. And so that's kind of the very, very basic. And lots of guys, they do this mistake where they approach women and they confuse them. They're like, for example, if you want a relationship, you want kind of good girlfriend, physical type who is more into the sex, more into the crazy stuff. She's not gonna be the right girlfriend. If you really want to settle down, like I would say, emotional type of a woman is kind of the one that you are going for. So really, this crucial understanding can change your life with women, and this kind of stuff that's really, really important to understand, how to recognize, and how to give them what they need. Because if you're let's say you are the girl and you're talking with a guy and he's not providing you with what makes you happy, you're not gonna be with him.
You mean that emotional women can't enjoy physical stuff and physical women can't enjoy internal stuff, or how does it work? Is it black and white, or?
No, of course you'll have a physical type, reading a book and meditating, yes. But her primary external happiness is driven towards that, so yes, you'll have emotional, you can have amazing sex life with emotional type of girl, but it's going to be different sex. It's going to be more kind of love making, lots of eye contact, more bonding, more emotional, versus if you are having sex with a physical one, it's going to be more animalistic, more crazy. So it is, it's really different. You can still do stuff, there's they're going to be doing the stuff, but what makes them happy and true joy inside is different. Emotional women, they're not going to enjoy nightclub and truly enjoy nightclub and parties and loud music. They will go out there. They'll be there, but it's not something it's not the source of their happiness. It's not the source of their life. Searching for attention and partying and going crazy and guys approaching you. It's not their thing.
If you say that they both go to nightclubs and go to different places, how can you recognize them? How can you know? So I'm talking to a woman. How can I know that she's emotional or physical?
But basically, it's behavior. And I would say I usually test. Sometimes, you cannot just see it from the outside. Sometimes yes, but you can go wrong. So if you talk with a woman, talk with a girl 5-10 minutes, and you're maybe touching her and she's responding very well to the physical touch, she sees she's drinking lots of alcohol and she likes that, I would say couple of signs along the way, by asking her what she loves to do in her life, they will reveal which one are they. If she's more spiritual, more this, she's looking for a boyfriend, you can actually feel that if you start searching for the clues, they're gonna give a lot of clues during the conversation, so you can actually understand where she is.
I see. So you're actually hunting for the clues to understand who she is. Do you have maybe a cutting test to understand how to recognize them? So just for example, I know that emotional girls, mostly when you ask them about past relationships, they would have longer relationships. They wouldn't be they won't have long periods of being single. And physical girls, mostly when you talk to them, they talk about parties they went to, they talk about everything that has status and adrenaline, actually everything that makes them look better on the status, it's on their mind, because in your mind, once she says I've been to this yacht, to this boat, to this party, in your mind it's who paid for it, and what did you do for it, but they think it's higher status. So I know there are these type of differences, but is there anything more cutting or more let's say crucial that would definitely say, okay, this is physical girl, this is emotional girl, that you know of maybe?
Yeah, it's very simple. So actually, I do two tests. One test longest relationship, okay? But again, that can go if she's young, 19, 20, it can go wrong. She didn't have a 3 to 5 years relationship. So you can go wrong. Hobbies are the best way, because if her hobbies are sports, kind of some like, adrenaline sports or like, competitive sports, she's boxing, she's gym, she's doing stuff. It will tell you that she's searching for the physical pleasures. She's more that type, like, trying to, to please the body, and the body needs adrenaline, body needs movement, body needs action. Versus emotional ones will tell you usually like hobbies are gonna be like, something very low energy, meditation, books, friends, cooking, something more that's producing internal happiness.
Interesting. It actually, once you went into hobbies, actually I have two questions. I would start with the first one because once you went into hobbies, it brought up the question of like, where do you actually find them? So let's say, actually, before we understand where we find them, I would like to know like, why would I want physical girl or why would I want emotional girl? Like, when I'm looking for a woman, generally as a guy who's going out, wants to go out with women, most guys like don't care whatever woman they find, but let's be precise on that. What do they get from physical women and what do they get from emotional women? How do they know where they want to point their focus at?
I mean, it starts with, like, what do you want? Like, I think we already like explained in opening sentence, but let's go deeper, okay? Of course, physical women are more for, one night stands, fuck body type of a relationships, lots of fun you can do. I would say they actually may even be better looking than more fit than emotional, because they really like, they care about their appearance, they care about their body, like, they want like, to maximize these assets. While the emotional ones, they invest more into character, into her emotional development, into her personality. That's kind of what's mostly they are driven towards that. Emotional ones are really good for relationship. Okay, and they are really good for they are best girlfriend materials, they are best wife materials. I'm seeing lots of guys who marry physical types because they are great sex, parties, this, and they marry them and they end up with lots of problems because physical types, they are not that good for raising up kids, creating families, because like their needs are somewhere else, into parties, alcohol, drugs.
Yeah, it's like the same girls that become like, how is it called? Like housewives, like a crazy housewives show, that they are like just looking for sex all of the time and for new experiences all of the time. Also inside of the relationship, they're always like looking outside because this is what they are driven by.
Yeah, they will be the one cheating you, like, for sure. She's gonna be like, the moment she's not getting satisfied with a sex life, like, in-house, in your relationship, she's gonna be start searching around, like, versus emotional, her happiness is related towards, kind of more like, oh, I have someone in my life who really cares about me. Even the sex goes down, she still stay loyal with, because like, it's different things that makes her happy. Sex is just there, like, secondary or third thing, it's not that important for her. So while actually with physical types, so yeah, I would say like, if you're just looking for the fun, one night stands, adventure, physical types. Emotional ones, they are not that crazy for one night stands. It's actually hard to get them because it hurts them. It really hurts them, and most of them, they stop having one night stands because for them, when she sleeps with a guy, okay, her body creates lots of oxytocin, which is a bonding hormone, and by the morning, and lots of girls tell me, she's like, by the morning, I'm in love with the guy, like my body is connected to that person, and I know logically it's a one night stand. Tomorrow he's gone, but I feel connection. So she's like, I cannot have one night stands. Then I cannot physically have one night stands because next morning I'm crying, it hurts me. Even though it was amazing sex, I know logically he's there just for one night. My body, my unconscious connected to him. That's why what guys usually do, they create lots of, they cuddle after the sex, and then like, basically you create this big connection, and then tomorrow she's crying. So she's like, I need to protect myself. I like the guy, I'm horny, yes, but like if I have one night stands tomorrow, I'll be crying whole day. So with physical ones, they don't attach that much of emotions, and they don't produce that much oxytocin during the sex, during the orgasm. Therefore, they don't connect. So for them, it's just like, you bang, go. Like, it's like nothing.
But why is it? How is it? Like, okay, I mean, I know you said already what's the difference between them, but it's like, what's the difference from the guy perspective? What's the difference from the girl's perspective? Like, what's their difference? Like, what creates emotional women? What creates physical women? You understand the question?
Testosterone.
Testosterone, okay.
Yeah, it's basically hormonal disbalance. Girls with more testosterone, they're gonna be more into that. Like, they'll become more physical types, more feminine ones, they're gonna be driven more towards the emotional side.
Really? Wow. So actually what you're saying is a woman that is more masculine would be more of a physical type of woman.
I would say yes. I won't say really masculine, because I think like, you need lots of testosterone to become masculine. Even, but like if it is, let's say like there's a perfect ratio what makes a woman like, of hormones. But if there's a little bit more testosterone, she's not going to be masculine, but she will start to crave for the physical pleasures what guys do,
Okay. And that's where like, what types of girls go under the physical type? Like, there's the physical, the big umbrella. What types of girls that guys know that goes under it, if you know, like...
But I would say, okay, like gold diggers, for example, girls look, they're gonna be, attention seeking, like very beautiful ones. They will be the ones, searching for all of that kind of luxuries, things expensive, drinks, clothes, everything like, that's kind of outside, because they need this kind of satisfaction from the world, approval from the world that they are beautiful. So it's all that, and I'm sure there's more girls who are into kind of, I don't know, adrenaline stuff, sports. You'll find them in the gym a lot.
Ah, really? Because a lot of guys are like saying like, I want a gym girlfriend, that they have the muscles and everything. I know that there are a lot of guys.
You could, but you will need to like have lots of sex with her to keep her, like, which is okay. Like some guys do, like, and do lots of. I mean, it becomes like your friend, because you go there play football with her, kind of. That's kind of because you feed her what you'll be feeding a good, like a friendship, invite her for football, go play basketball with him, like, so she's, or like, go-karts, adrenaline stuff. That's what they respond to.
You just gave blueprint for guys how to date the gym girls, which is like something that they really want. Actually,
it's testosterone. It's like having a body, like a male friend
that you have sex with. Actually, it reminds me of the question that I wanted to ask before also, because we went into the relationship with the gym girls. So, because you said that physical girls are less fit for relationships, and you said that they tend to cheat more. But what are the other risks of dating like a physical girl? And I mean, like, let's say inside the relationships, what behaviors do they have that emotional girls don't have, other than cheating? Like, what do they do? Before it gets to the point of cheating or whatever that happens in there. Like, what do they do differently? Do you know, to tell me like small details like this, hints?
Yes, like usually in my relationships, they would like to go to the nightclubs often. Like, let's go out, let's go party, which I hated. Like, I'm like, nightclubs was like, and still it is my job. Like, I go out there, to clubs with guys, coaching. So basically, when somebody invites me to the club, I'm like, first thing is for me, it's going back to the office. I'm like, sorry, like, I don't go back to the working place, like, for my free night, free evening. And they're like, no, let's go to, and then like, of course, because, I mean, I've been working most of the kind of month or weekends in clubs, with guys approach, helping them, like, teaching them how to get girls. And then I'm like, next week and I'm free. And then she's like, hey, let's go out, party, let's go drink. I'm like, holy shit, go with your friends. And then she's like pissed off because she needs to go with her friends. And then you don't know what she's doing there. that I would say that's the problem. Like, kind of, if you let's say you went over your party phase, but kind of, and I'm 40. I'm not in the parties anymore, like in clubs and stuff. But you date a girl who is 20 and she wants to go out, parties, things, lounges, music, DJs. It's gonna be, you're not gonna be synced together, So that's the problem.
So it's clubbing. Is there anything else in the relationship other than clubbing that they tend to do?
I don't think so. Everything is normal. You'll have more fights with physical types. They'll have more ego and they'll be more like, no, it's gonna be like this, my way, While emotionally, they're much more softer. They're more lovable. They're more understandable. They're more like, like nice guys, nice girls.
Yeah, it actually makes sense because the moment you said that physical girls has more testosterone than emotional girls, it makes sense they would be more competitive with you.
Yeah.
Do they test you more than emotional girls?
I don't think they test you. I think they try to turn the relationship their way. And then, of course, testing is a part of it because she'll try different ways to get it her way. You will see that as a test, while actually she's just trying to go different direction. Before we continue, guys, please subscribe to the channel, like, and comment if anything. Please, guys, subscribe to this channel. There's going to be some amazing stuff coming out. Let's continue.
What would be your tips for a guy that listening to this episode and finds out that he's in a relationship with a physical woman? Right? Because I know a lot of guys that would listen and maybe they are in a relationship. They would understand, I'm in a relationship with a physical woman. Would you suggest him to drop the relationship? Would you suggest him to continue with that? Maybe explanation of how to do so, or how to drop the relationship, or how to maintain it. I think it would be very good for the guys who are listening that are in this situation,
I mean, why to drop it? These are so much fun girls, just continue. These girls, they're gonna be open for threesomes, for crazy stuff. So they're gonna give you the best sex for sure ever. If you're looking for that, there are guys looking for the relationship, they want deep emotional connection. That's fine. If you're looking for lots of fun, keep her. I would say my best fuck buddies, were physical ones. Best blowjobs, best sex. I had, was the physical ones. So, and I'm really thankful. And I would say my best threesome I ever had was combination. Basically, one girl was emotional, other girl was physical. Amazing energies, amazing, complete. You have basically everything for what world can offer to you. Amazing sex, cuddle, different energies. One is bringing things down, one is bumping things up. Being dirty and sexual. Then cuddle. It really amazing. So it really. It really comes down, just like with the food, just like with anything else. I have 2 cups here. I have one basically. Coffee and the water. Okay, so when my mouth is dry, I drink water. When I want more energy, coffee is here to wake me up. Same thing with relationships. It's you choose what you want. And basically, I remember for me, I would say I'm in the game 25 years. Okay, more than half of my life. And I was always alternating between relationships, and I don't want to say I'm a more relationship guy or more physical type for adventures. I like both. I always loved being single, and dating physical types and have fuck buddies and have a rotation of 3, 4, 5 girls, and I love that. And then I'll find the one emotional type when I was tired of all this, partying and rotating many girls. Then I would find emotional type of a woman who is craving for relationship, amazing one, basically, and enter a relationship. Then I can be with her let's say 1, 2, 3 years. When I got fed up with that, I didn't want to marry her and move it on, or she wasn't that type of a girl. Then I'll go back to being single, break up, and again get my yearly dose of physical fun. And then go again, like when I got tired of it, I went to the relationships, and that's how I fed myself for more than 20 years. And you do completely happy, So it really is what's driving you. What do you want, If you want to cuddle, you want a girlfriend, you want someone who understands you, who is there for you, cooking for you, helping you in your life, supporting you. You'll be more happy with emotional type than physical type. If you want a girl who is open, who wants to go to parties with you, she's crazy, you want to have fun with her, travel, do adrenaline stuff, you're looking for physical type.
Amazing. Okay, that was a very good answer. So actually it brings me to what I think would be the last question of this interview, of this episode. And this is how do you talk? How do you meet? How do you create this process of getting to know a physical woman versus emotional woman? What do you do? What's the difference? What's the calibration in there?
Oh, that's a good question. So, and that's what I always tell to my clients. You need to develop two games within the game, two profiles. Okay, one is more this kind of fuckboy profile for the physical types. Guy who is, dominant, sexual, adrenaline, a little bit bad boyish, unpredictable. And then have another side of personality that you can switch on, turn on when it's needed, more, portraying other side for emotional types. The guy who is trustworthy, lots of understanding, connection-based type of a game, more kind of TCC, what we call back in the days, building trust, comfort, connection type of a game, more calm down, intelligent, romantic, lots of understanding, building connection, being there for her. So it's really flipping to different things. I would say with physical ones, I was always, and I'm still looking, I want to become their drug dealer. Okay, not literally, but let's put it under the quotes. So I'm going to find what are her sources of happiness. Okay, what drives her? Okay, what drives her boat? Where is she? And then once I know what's there, what's driving her crazy, what's making her happy, then I'll start feeding her with that during the dates. So I become her drug dealer. I become her source of happiness. So when she wants adrenaline, instead of going out there with her girlfriends, she comes to me. So if I find her drugs, she's mine. Her sources, so she's mine. And with emotional ones, it's you don't need to do that. It's very clear. They're looking for a soulmate. They're looking for a boyfriend who is going to be there after. So lots of future plans in a conversation. Lots of portraying, I will stay after the sex. Lots of comfort building, connection building.
Actually, I think this is a good general strategy. There is a lot more to it, and deeper. How do you create connection? How do you provide sexuality? How do you build sexual tension? How do you create adventure? All of this stuff. There are actually learned skills that we are teaching. With leading skills, with sexuality skills, with conversational skills. So there is much more to it, but I think that we need to wrap it up right now to finish this episode. So guys, if you'd like to hear more from us in any of these topics, you are more than welcome to send us on the Instagram, the DatingMasterminds, message and tell us you want this and this episode, and we'll know to make episodes specifically about the topics that you are talking about. In the meantime, we have a lot to speak about anyway, so we'll just continue with the good work that we're doing. Thank you, Dan, for giving all of this knowledge to these guys and actually going deeper into it. It was a pleasure to be with you. I was Mercy, this was Dan, and we'll see you in the next episode.